Hi, I saw you there. Welcome to 2035, where everyone says, oofly goobly, how's your doobly? And no one's gone outside for so long that most of the outside world looks like this right now. So I've decided what a great time to go surfing. I mean, there's probably no one outside right now, so why not? However, there may be a reason for that I'm not quite getting at the moment, but hey, there's only one way to find out. Oh, note to self, I'm never doing that again. Well, now that I'm out of the overgrown wilderness known as that place over there, and now that I'm done with my horrifying surfing adventure, that, to be perfectly honest, I hated because it was terrifying, and also I got extremely wet, and with this kind of hair, you don't really want that to be happening. How about this time we try simulating it in maybe a roller coaster type of thing? But who's done that? Howdy, hello everyone, I'm Critic and you're the viewer. Welcome back to another episode. Today we'll be talking about HangTime at Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California. This ride is, oh boy, it's actually pretty fun. Has a few rough spots, but in general, it's pretty good. And today, I'm going to be going over a general bit of it, some history, some of my thoughts, and an overview of the ride. So, why don't we get started with that? Unlike in my last review with Ghost Rider, where we looked over its very long and kind of not so recent history, with HangTime we don't really have to do that, but I'm going to go back in time either way. The plot HangTime was on was first taken up by the historic corkscrew roller coaster, the first ever roller coaster to go upside down in modern times. The only reason why I'm saying in modern times is because while that did happen beforehand, you'd only have to dealing with 12 G's of force, pretty much just breaking all the bones in your body. So, yeah, this was pretty much your best bet. But then, because Knotts wanted to be goofy, they decided, yeah, let's take out this very historic and probably people would visit our park for years to come roller coaster, and let's replace it with a highly cloned Vekoma Boomerang. Yay! And, well, it was called Boomerang, and people say it was actually probably the best Boomerang. But that doesn't really mean much, considering how most Vekoma Boomerangs sucked. So, yeah, it kind of just stayed until 2017, when Knotts finally decided to pull the cord on that, too, as well as the small flat ride next to it. And now that plot was empty for a nice roller coaster that hopefully could live up to Corkscrew. After Corkscrew and the flat ride next to it were both torn down, Cedar Fair decided to announce HangTime, which would be a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster. At this time, they hadn't worked with Gerstlauer that much. They had gotten a few coasters and flat rides for them, but still not the most. So it was good to see that they were finally getting something from this manufacturer that was pretty freaking major. Once construction started, the ride was built and built and built, and I go over this every single video, but I think it's kind of obvious that the ride was built pretty freaking quickly, like usual with most roller coasters. And then the ride opened on May 18th, 2018. This ride would have a length of 2,198 feet, a height of 150 feet, and a speed of 57 miles an hour. It would also have a beyond vertical drop at 96 degrees. And also because Knotts wanted to have more records, they called this a dive coaster. And yes, I would consider this a dive coaster, but there isn't really much point in calling this a dive coaster anymore because, I mean, well, the only reason why they were flexing that was because this would technically be California's only dive coaster, and then SeaWorld came in and gave SeaWorld San Diego an actual B&M dive coaster. So, yeah. I don't even think anyone even calls this thing a dive coaster anymore. No one cares anymore. We already have Emperor. There's no point in calling this thing a dive coaster anymore. HangTime was also granted a beautiful lighting package at night, which, well, I'm showing pictures of it here, and wow, this is one of the coolest lighting packages I've ever seen in my life, to be perfectly honest. But now that we're done looking at the ride's general facts, let's actually take a ride on HangTime. You start by going up a 90-degree lift hill, which is pretty scary, not gonna lie. You then get held at the top of the first drop, as you get to see the bottom of the world, as you then just kind of stare there for a few seconds. and then you drop down the 96-degree drop. You go down a very forceful valley, and then into a weird inversion that I have no idea what the name of it is. It turns nighttime in this POV for some reason, and then you go into another inversion that you think would give you hang time, but it doesn't. Then you go into another forceful valley, and then get shooken out of your freaking head with that weird freaking corkscrew, and then into a cutback, and into the best moment of the ride, which is oddly enough airtime, as you get shot out of your seat, and then into a weird Cobra Roll-ish element paying homage to corkscrew, and then going down into oh no.
Hang Time, in my opinion, is a pretty good ride. However, some points I'd like to note on is why at certain parts of the ride does it just like that. Like at the top of the second inversion, for some reason, at the very top, the entire car shakes from left to right for a few seconds, and I don't get why. It's almost like they welded something wrong there or something. I don't know what it is, but somehow they just got that part wrong, and I don't understand why. Other than that, Hang Time is a pretty fun ride. I do feel like calling it Hang Time is a bit weird because, oddly enough, its best part of the ride is a airtime pop. That one airtime pop, one of the few airtime pops on the ride, is actually really good and really strong ejector. But hey, I guess it wasn't really Knott who designed the layout, what were they? So I think that'll be about it for this video. So, hope you liked this video. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Like if you're more on subscribing, leave a like. And I was the Critic, you're the viewer, and I'll see you in the future. Goodbye.